Hello, 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 hello. So, today we will be doing the first tarot readings for the new year. And as part of that, I have this fluorite wand, which I'm going to be using to just gently brush your energy and going to be pointing at you to fill you with positive energy. The decks that I'm going to use this month, I'm going to use my Tarot Mukha deck, and then I'm also going to use some other Art Nouveau style decks, the Art Nouveau Lenormand, and my astrological oracle cards. And to go along, grab my lighter, sorry, to go along with the purification, we're going to be starting a new year. So anything that you want to leave behind in 2020, just direct it toward the flame. Let's do some breathing together. Breathe in and hold and release, and just release everything that you've been holding on to that you want to let go of. And breathe in and hold and release. Breathe in and hold and release. Great. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. I have this stick of frankincense. Also, I love frankincense. I'm just gonna blow a little bit of this smoke all over you. And if there's anything else, I'll give you one more chance since we're starting a new year. If you have resolutions that you'd like to make, anything that you'd like to leave behind, just focus your intention and release any negative energy into the candle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Hello, Scorpio. Let's look at your month ahead for January of 2021. So, the first thing I've been doing is take the Scorpio and the Sun cards out, and I put them in the first house. That way that covers Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, although this reading will also apply to Scorpio Moon. I'm going to lay these cards out, and then I'm going to put the Celtic cross on top, and then we'll read all of it together. Alright, so first house, Virgo in the second, Gemini in the third, and its native. We've got Cancer in the fourth and its native. Leo in the fifth in its native. Aquarius in the sixth. Libra in the seventh. Taurus in the eighth. Libra in its native as well. Sagittarius in its native in the ninth. Aries in the 10th house. Pisces in the 11th. And Capricorn in the 12th house. So I do assure you that I've shuffled these quite thoroughly now, Scorpio. It looks like you've just gotten lucky with how many, let's see, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signs in their native houses. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's get on to the planets. Alright, so we've got the Sun here, Pluto, Uranus, Mercury, the Moon, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Mars, and Jupiter. the tarot deck. Decided to keep it thematically linked with the Art Nouveau style. Love Art Nouveau so much. There we go. All right, Scorpio. Past, present, future, goal or destiny, hopes and fears, final outcome, your perspective, their perspective. Let's start here in the middle. What do we have? The star, the moon. We've got the moon here. Now this is Pisces card, fellow water sign. Can be about hidden things, can be about treacherous work afoot, or a narrow road that you'll have to pass. And we have a card of travel here too. The Six of Swords can be an exile or a pilgrimage. Let's look here at the past. So we do have it touching the House of Endings, where you have Capricorn and Jupiter. Capricorn in your House of Endings, there could have been an end to a job, but with Jupiter here, I do still see wealth and expansion. And that could have been the beginning of a new situation for you as well, Scorpio. We also have Pluto. We've got Virgo down here in your second house of possessions. Virgo's very analytical, so there might be a lot of bean counting going on right now. Pluto's about an ending as well, so there might have been some ending to a job and a financial situation in the recent past. And here we have the Nine of Cups in the reverse. So it could have been that there was a wish fulfillment, and then the wish came to an end. The dream is over, is what I'm hearing. Let's look at your current state of affairs. This is going to be in your Imam Silai, so having to do with the fourth house and the third house as well. You've got Gemini in its native house of communication, ideas, short distance travel, and you have Cancer in its native house, which is your fourth house, and has to do with home and family. It also has to do with your emotional states as they relate to other people. This reciprocation of emotional energy between you and others. Gemini can also be about duality. So there could be some duality there in communication. We have Uranus, the iconoclast, straddling those energies. We have Mercury over here, kind of touching the 4th house. So again, speaking to possible short distance travel. And Pluto over here, touching your 3rd house of communication and Gemini. Could be an end to some communication as well. We do have the World card coming out here for your current state of affairs. It's a very good card, but it is a card of ending a cycle. Implication being the beginning of a new cycle. Let's look at your opinion of the situation. We'll also look at outside perspectives on the situation at hand. So over here we already talked about Virgo in your 2nd house a little bit, and Pluto. We have the 8 of Cups here, which is very linked energy to the 6 of Swords. Walking away from something that's almost complete. Almost complete. So, it could have been a project that you'd worked very hard on. And analogous to this 9 of Cups in the reverse as well. You didn't quite get there. Let's look over here at the outside perspective. Now, we have Leo in its native house, the 5th house. This is creativity, artistic endeavors. Can have to do with child rearing, whether they're your biological children or children that you take care of in some way or another. Even your inner child, possibly. And Leo being a fixed fire sign, it's a very gregarious energy, a very confident and solar-ruled energy. We've got Mercury touching the 5th house. Can have to do again with communication, short distance travel. We also have the moon coming in here, reinforcing that creative energy. And we have Aquarius in your 6th house. 6th house. This will be representative of the detriment. No, the 7th house will. Scratch that, sorry. The 6th house is your daily routines and your health. Now, Aquarius is an energy, it's a very strong manifestation energy. It's an air energy. An active energy, which inclines it toward the masculine as well. It could be starting new daily routines, taking a more proactive stance in your health. And we have the moon coming in as well, which is about emotional states. It could be your emotional health, but it could also be hidden health factors that you don't know about yet. There's a lot of cups in this reading, Scorpio. The outsider's perspective looking in is that you've been slave to illusions of grandeur, that you have let yourself be carried away by these flights of fancy So whereas you see it as the possibility of the Nine of Cups, other people looking in from the outside saw it as this grasping at delusion. But of course, that's not really the totality of it. You've actually ended up in a really good situation. It might not be what you had envisioned, and it might not be what others had envisioned for you, but you're actually in a really good place right now. Let's see what's coming in the future. Again, we've got this moon in Aquarius in the 6th house. In the 7th house, this being your detriment, right? We do have Libra in its native. This is partners and open enemies. And it is situations in which you are seeking parity or equality. We have Venus here. This could be about a romantic situation. We do have Taurus in the 8th house. Endings and beginnings. This is Scorpio's native house, so death, sex, other people's resources might be at play. Taurus is about your resources as well. It's a very warm, home-focused energy. And we have Saturn here in Taurus. Saturn being an energy of concretion. It's a long-term energy. This is something that takes a long time to develop. And so this is very much speaking to this long-term, slow building of resources. And there either being an ending or a beginning to that, or something in the cycle switching over. Venus is also touching Taurus and Libra. Now, the important thing about that is that Venus is native to both of those signs. And let's look at what the card is for the future there. We have Temperance in the reverse. It could be, now we do have Saturn here. It could be that there's just a little bit further that you have to go in order to achieve this mastery and stability. Because Temperance is about that. It's not just about the stability. It's also about the art and the mastery behind everything you do. That could be something that is coming in the future, but won't be happening in the month of January. Let's look over here at your hopes and fears. And we do have the Tower card here in the reverse. You are afraid that there will be a catastrophic end to something. But that's not necessarily the case. What I see here is not a catastrophic end. It's a transition. And I can tell by all of the cards that are here that it's not just a transition, it's a journey. I can tell by the cards that are here that there's not a lot of clarity in this situation. And actually, the Moon card, which came out first as your significator, really speaks to that. Really speaks to there not being anyone who really has a clear perspective on what's going on right now. Which is fine. Because everything is really quite all right. All right, let's look at the final outcome and your goal or destiny. Now, over here, your goal or destiny, we have Sagittarius in its native house, which is the 9th house. This is all the things you do to elevate yourself. This is a mutable fire energy, a very fire-oriented alchemical process that you're using to elevate your spirit. And the planetary energies that are influencing that 9th house are Saturn and then Neptune, which is active water energy, very masculine, watery energy. So there being a opposition of forces here, for sure. Then we have your 10th house. We have Aries in your 10th house. That's going to be your midheaven representative. And that has to do with career. Aries is about beginnings. It's about getting a fresh start to something. It can also have to do with your early childhood. So Neptune, that active water energy, is also influencing this 10th house Aries energy. And we have Mars here too. Now Mars is native to Aries. Mars and Aries are both native to the 1st house, but in this reading, that was obviously not going to be a placement that came up because this is the Scorpio reading. So the focus being on this masculine water energy that's very active. This could be a representative of you in this situation, Scorpio. You don't have to consider yourself male or a man to have this active water energy working in your favor in these situations. And it is creating, Aries and Sagittarius are both fire signs, so it's creating this oppositional tension here that's very good for action as far as career and elevating oneself is concerned. Let's see what this goal or destiny card is. So we have the 8 of Wands. Now this can mean one of two things here in the reverse. This can mean that you're going to have to wait a long time or quite some time for the ending. And then when the ending comes, it will be swift. So this could just be saying that this ending is going to be swift when it occurs, but it won't be happening in January of 2021. It could also be an energy that is slow to unfold. So not a slow resolution, or not a fast resolution at all, but a very time-released energy. And we do have Saturn over here, also influencing Sagittarius. Interestingly enough, Saturn in Sagittarius is 10 of Wands energy of oppression. So there could also be, we do have Wands here. There could be some kind of burden or some kind of oppression going on that you're going to have to overcome as well. Over here, we have Pisces in the 11th house, which is really cool because Pisces is about your internal emotional states and also about your psychic intuition. And the 11th house is innovation and your powers of manifestation, law of attraction type stuff. We have Mars touching that, which is an active kind of aggressive energy. We have Jupiter, wealth and expansion, also touching this. That's very good. Very good for your final outcome. And then, of course, Capricorn, the 12th house. The things around you that you use to your benefit. Wealth and expansion affecting that as well. So let's look at this final outcome. We have the 4 of Pentacles here in the reverse. So, Four of Pentacles can be about holding too tightly to things or not holding tightly enough. It could be that if this ending is not coming quickly, a warning that you need to start conserving your resources for the future. I'm going to pull some cards for this situation, and I'm also going to pull some cards about this Temperance in reverse that we got over here. Alright, Scorpio, I have my other Lenormand, my other Art Nouveau deck here, the Lenormand cards. I wanted everything to be a little bit matchy-matchy this month. I'm kind of a slut for Art Nouveau Oracle decks, if you can tell. If you have any recommendations, please put them down in the comments section. I do also have the Ethereal Visions deck, and I just ordered the Golden Art Nouveau deck. And I was looking at the Flowers deck. It used to be the Bach Flowers deck, but they changed the name. There might have been like some kind of copyright issue or something like that. But if you have thoughts about your favorite Art Nouveau themed oracular decks, please do let me know. Alright, let's find out more about this. You've got the ring. There's some kind of contract, possibly a marriage, but it could be a business contract. And the burden. The cross is the burden. And remember, I was talking about this Saturn and Sagittarius energy over here as well being about burdens. It could be that the contract is a burden to you. And we have the Tower. Now, the Tower in Lenormand does not mean the same thing as the Tower in the Tarot. Alright, so let's talk about it. The Tower could be an institution. It could be the government. It could be representative of a corporation with whom you have a contract. And there's going to be a drawn-out process in regard to this situation with this contract that becomes a burden to you. The Tower can also be about control. But I think in this situation, it's probably about a company. Or some other legal entity. Keep in mind, this is just for the month of January too, and I've already done the 2021 overview readings, so you can also go and watch that. And I did get some complaints that it was a little bit depressing, but I don't make the news, okay? This might resonate with you, it might not. I do know a Scorpio in particular that it does relate to. But this might not be for you. Make sure to watch your rising and moon signs if you are a Scorpio sun sign watching this. Or check out the crystal scry. But I don't want to just do a fake reading for you to make you feel better just because it's an ASMR video, right? Wouldn't you feel better to know what's going to happen so you can plan ahead? All right, let's look at this Temperance card. And then, because things are a little bit heavy, I will pull some more cards for you, just because there's a lot of oppressive energy over this reading, and I'd like to clear the air a little bit. We have the Home coming out. The Fox. And the Clover. Now, this is very interesting. The Fox can be about somebody who's very cunning, and the Clover is about luck. It's about fast luck. Not like a super long-term kind of a Jupiterian energy, but it definitely a lucky energy and a quick energy. The Fox, while it can mean someone who's cunning, it can also be translated to someone who makes money through their cunning, like a hustle or like a gig type job where you work as a hairdresser or even a tarot reader or something like that, where you are working for multiple clients, whereas the Moon is more like 9 to 5 work for a company type energy, right? This Fox is more like freelancer type energy. So a lucky freelancer energy. And then we have the House here. And the House is all about the comfort of your home, but it could be in this situation, and especially in the current climate, you could end up, or you could already be in this situation where you're working from home and that you have this job that you do that's very self-directed and you're able to accomplish it from your own home. All right, let's pull just a few more cards. What is the best way for Scorpio to get through this situation? What are some things that Scorpio can do to weather the storm? We do have the Fish coming out. I think that you do still have a lot of resources at your disposal, and this is going to be a good time to double down and conserve them, as you are being guided to do by your final outcome card. We have the Woman here. This could represent somebody who could help you. Let me pull another card. She more represents like another significator of sorts. We have the Garden here. The Garden is all about your social groups. So, it's possible that you could meet a wealthy woman who can help you out in your social groups. Maybe you end up marrying this person, or they end up being a long-term partner. Or there could be a situation where they spearhead a crowdfunding campaign on your behalf. Or there could be something about this person that you are able to elicit their help in starting a crowdfunding campaign. A lot of these things are possible. So, it might not be the most positive reading that I've ever given for Scorpio, but there really is a lot of potential here. You're not in a bad place. And while there are some things going on that can be frustrating and demoralizing. There are other things going on that are going to really pan out well for you in the future. So don't lose sight of that. Thank you. 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 Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And until next time, I hope to see you again very, very soon.